Hey there, Cam here from Training Talk. Welcome to this week's episode of Endurance Coaching Business. Hope everyone in the Northern Hemisphere is enjoying the summer. We're really starting to get into winter here in New Zealand, July. And also happy Independence Day for the 4th for those in America. Hope you really enjoy the day. This week, talking about the next in our series of ways to attract new coaching clients. So last week I talked about building trust with free pre-coaching consultations. So you'll see that there is a bit of a theme here, building trust and building authority, because this week we're talking about building coaching authority with email marketing, things that I talk about a lot and I think, in my opinion, are very important to marketing for your coaching business. So sales and marketing is difficult. When you're selling yourself as a person, you need to be authentic, but you need to prove that you are an expert and that you have you need to build up some authority. So what is authority if it's not expertise? Well, if you're an expert coach, that doesn't automatically mean you have authority. So authority is that other people realize that you have expertise and that they will trust you or seek you out to take advantage of your expertise. So there are a lot of people who have expertise, but they don't have any authority because people don't know enough about them and they don't know, like, or trust them yet. So that's authority. So let's jump into it. Building coaching authority with email marketing. So email marketing can get a bit of a bad rap, but it is still one of the best ways to directly communicate with your potential clients. And you want to do that by not sending them sales emails, but by providing valuable content and updates, keeping them aware of what you're doing so that you are front of mind and helping to build trust and nurture relationships that you have with these potential new clients and even existing clients as well. So it's all about building trust and delivering value to your audience. It's not about pushing sales. It's about nurturing relationships over a long period of time. So you can do things like share helpful tips, training insights, motivational content, and all, of course, tailored to your ideal clients. So you're attracting the right people and you're giving the value, the types of value that your ideal clients are looking for as well. So you want to do that to establish yourself as a reliable and supportive resource for them to reach their goals and solve their problems. So, for example, you could have a newsletter that starts with 5 tips for preparing you for your first marathon if your ideal customer is new runners who are looking to run their first marathon, or guides to training, winter training tips for cyclists if cyclists are your main target market. So the whole idea is once your audience feels connected and sees the value that you provide over a long period of time, they're more likely to consider your services. Just want to briefly touch on social media. Feels like people are trying to get off social media now, not stay on it. So social media for a while felt like it was going to take over as the best way to reach your clients, and it's probably where they are most at the moment, but it has become really noisy, and like I said, people are starting to migrate away or tune out. I definitely am. Where meanwhile, email, everyone still uses email, particularly if they're in business or they just need to deal with life. They're in their inbox all of the time, even if they're trying to avoid social media. So it has made a strong comeback, I think, and and I think I don't think it got overtaken by social media as the most direct and reliable way to reach your audience anyway, because you can land right in their inbox, build a more personal connection without fighting the algorithm changes or competing with all of the other reels from all of the other coaches that are all on social media now. Of course, in social media, you've got videos, so you can showcase your personality in a more visual way, but there's no reason why you can't direct people to videos and things from email as well. So think of social media and email as a way to complement each other. You can build your list with social media, but then create your trust alongside and parallel with email as well. So first point I want to make is, or want to ask you to do, is to send more emails. So most coaches worry about sending too many emails, which almost always results in sending too few. So how many should you send? Well, when it comes to frequency, the more important thing is focus on delivering consistent value. So consistency is more important than how many you send. But a good rule of thumb is, and you also want to think about how many value-based emails you send versus how many sales or action emails you send. So a good rule of thumb is to send maybe 4 to 6 value-based emails for every one sales-focused email. So when I talk about value emails, I'm talking about training advice, client success stories, expert insights, whereas sales emails might be when you're promoting one of your specific programs or limited time offer or coaching. So generally sending, so then if you're talking about how many emails should I send overall, so sending one email per week I think probably works well for coaches in terms of how much time they've got. I think it's frequent enough to stay top of mind without overwhelming your subscribers. And I think daily emails have worked in some cases for some people, but I think they're usually too much for coaching audiences and too much of a burden on a busy coach to try and do that as well. So I think having this balance, weekly emails, 4 to 6 value-based emails for every sales emails, create a balance that ensure you can maintain and develop trust gradually, and then introduce your services every now and then. So like all of this stuff in marketing, patience and consistency are key. So focus on helping first and the sales will hopefully follow. It's unsurprisingly common for coaches to put a lot of energy into creating and building their list initially, but then they never send emails to it. So it's a real missed opportunity. If you're going to put the work in to create your email list, pay for the email provider, then you should be sending emails. So if you're not sending emails regularly, people will just forget about who you are and they'll lose connection with you. Worse, the worst thing that can happen is you hardly ever send any emails, and when you do, they don't even know who you are. So it feels like spam because they've forgotten they've even signed up to the list. So by staying consistent, even if it feels a bit repetitive, you stay present and keep relationships warm and engaged. Okay, so building your list. So of course, email marketing has 2 important parts. One is the content you actually send out, but which should be, as we've been talking about, tailored to your ideal customer, provide heaps of value through tips, insights, and stories. But the other part is building your list in the first place, or continuously building your list in the first place. Not just putting an opt-in on your website saying, join my email list or join my newsletter, because, I mean, no one just wants to be part of a newsletter. Like, what is it about? So a better approach to this is to repurpose maybe some of your content you already got and create a lead magnet. So something like a training guide, a checklist, or a resource, tailored to your target customer, your ideal customer, and use all of your channels including maybe paid advertising, your social media, your website, to promote that lead magnet in exchange for your email address. So heaps of stuff online to figure all of that out. But if that lead magnet really truly provides value and is tailored specifically to your ideal customer, then it's a fair exchange. You give them value, they give you their email address, and then you have the opportunity to nurture them by helping them even more and more and getting them engaged and then potentially becoming customers in the future. Okay, one little tip. In all of your emails, you should have a subtle call to action in the footer. So I said you don't want to be sending all sales emails, but it's a waste of an opportunity if you don't just put something in your email footer. So you don't have to call attention to it, but just in all of your emails, have something in your footer that talks about some of the services that you have, even if it's just a simple text and a button or a link. So for example, a small link to book a free consultation with you, download some sort of other guide, join an upcoming webinar, or just to go and click through and see your coaching services or your membership products or whatever it is that you have in your mix of products. So this is low pressure, but reminds the readers that there's more value waiting if they want it. And sometimes they will reach the point where they're ready to buy something. So you don't want to always have to rely on that you've timed like a sales email for that right time. So having a little call to action in the footer. So most email platforms allow you to have like a predefined footer that's in a template somewhere that actually just automatically gets put on all of your emails, so you don't even have to think about it. It just gets in every email by default. The last thing I wanted to say, which is a big one, is don't worry about when people unsubscribe. So everyone worries about people unsubscribing from their email list, and they're worried that they're going to send too many emails, be too salesy or whatever. But if you're providing enough useful content, like what we've talked about, that genuinely helps your ideal customer, then unsubscribe shouldn't really be a problem. And in fact, the goal isn't to have the biggest email list with the lowest number of unsubscribes, but to have a tight list of people who are truly interested and engaged. So unsubscribes are actually, it actually helps you or helps your audience self-select. So that ends up leaving you with a smaller but more engaged group who are more likely to become paying clients in the end anyway, and then you won't be paying for your email provider to keep uninterested people on your list. And then of course, if you're scared of unsubscribes, then you're probably scared to send emails. And then if you don't send emails and then you do send one, you're more likely to get a bunch of unsubscribes all at the same time, like I mentioned earlier, because they've forgotten that they even subscribe to your list. They might not even know who you are anymore. They might have moved on from the sport anyway. They're not looking for what they were looking before. So a few reasons why people are unsubscribed. So it's important to think about this when you see your list getting unsubscribes hitting your list. So they might just leave because their interests have shifted. They're not interested in the sport anymore. They've had a lifestyle change, so they don't have the time. You're taking a break from structured training. That's a big one, and that's all perfectly okay. So it just simply means that your list stays focused on those who are still engaged and interested. And of course, a positive side effect of a more engaged list is better open rates, and that subsequently always results in better deliverability. So avoiding the spam folder. All right, so what are the key takeaways from this? So you've got two crucial components you want to think about: writing the engaging content and proactively building the list. So there's no point doing one if you're not going to do the other. Value-driven emails should dominate your strategy. So 4 to 6 value emails for every one sales email. Use lead magnets, so free guides or checklists to incentivize actually getting people to sign up your list in the first place. Don't just rely on saying that you've got join our newsletter or something like that. And then you can promote those lead magnets across all of your channels. You can pay for ads, or you can just have them in your bio, on your website footer, etc. Content of your email should always be targeted at the goals, problems, or desires of your ideal customer profile. Consistency in sending emails builds trust and keeps you at top of mind for potential clients. So when they get to the point where they are looking to buy something, you're the one that they think of. Always include a subtle call to action in the footer to just take advantage of anyone who is ready to buy. And don't worry about unsubscribes. So if you're thinking about email marketing, you haven't got something set up yet, excuse me, what are the next steps? So first you need an email marketing tool. If you go to trainingtool.com, we've got the ones that we integrate with in the footer of our homepage. Drip, ConvertKit, ActiveCampaign, maybe one other. Create a lead magnet or repurpose some of your content that I'm sure you've created or the resources that you have. Tidy those up, create a lead magnet. Then create the opt-in forms for those on your website. Reach out to your partners and your social media posts and your bios, etc. And even with paid advertising if you're thinking about spending some money on ads. It's much better to spend money on building your email list than trying to sell things straight up to people without building trust with ads. And then alternate between value-focused emails and sales emails. All right, so that's this episode, and thanks for spending the time to listen if you got this far. Building coaching authority with email marketing, and I will hopefully